Hi everyone at Unique Kids. Welcome to this morning's Art with Holly session. Now this morning we're going to be making some bunny holders, so some little bunny pouches to hold like Easter eggs and mini eggs, and we're going to be making a chick pop-up card using different materials. Now I'm just going to show you what we made last week. So we made these really cool bunny rabbit cones using a recycled tray, some tissue paper, colour paper, foam, and then some card to make the cones themselves. And this was a really easy kind of craft to do. I know everyone enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sending in photographs of the designs that you've made. It was a really good session. Now this morning I've got things like coloured pens, I've got some pom-poms and sequins for decoration. I've also got some ribbons, some pipe cleaners, some glitter glue, and then materials such as white card, which we're going to use for the surface of our design. And then I've got tissue paper, foam, I do have some cellophane, and then obviously some Pritt stick and scissors will be needed. But I think we're just going to get started. As soon as you are in, please message in the comments section. That would be really great. On the bottom left hand corner, just send, a message of what materials you're using, maybe how your week's been. But we're just going to get started. So we'll have the first half of the session making the bunny holders, the second half making the pop-up chick card. Because obviously we've got two crafts in one and we'll finish around 11 o'clock. So we're going to start by either getting our white card or white paper, and we're just going to fold it in half. There we are. So something like this. Now this is going to be roughly the height of our holder. If you do want to make it smaller, just take your scissors and just trim around 2 inches or so off. There we are, just trim it off the top nicely. Hi Stephanie, thank you very much for joining this morning. Just having a look in my box for anything else. Maybe if you want as well, you could use some masking tape. That could be quite a nice material to use. We're just making at the moment some bunny rabbit holders for our Easter eggs, Stephanie. So we've just folded a piece of paper in half, just trimmed off the extra bits from the top, and then we're just going to fold each side in around 1 inch or so. Just fold it in, just make sure that you've got a nice crisp fold on that. So I'll just show you something like that. Not since the last time you see me, I haven't. Why? Does it look different? So just going to do the same on the other side now. So we've got a piece of card that was then folded in. Now, if you pull these two apart, imagine those are stuck together. This is the pouch that you can carry your eggs or something in. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our Pritt stick. Now, it might be worth using some sellotape and some masking tape as well, if possible, just because I'm using card and it's quite a strong material, and Pritt stick may not hold it as well as we think. Oh, thank you very much. Well, I hope you do like the hair. But no, I haven't coloured it since the last time you were on the workshops. Alright, so we're just going to start by gluing the flaps down, just so we've got that nice pouch, so we can sit the Easter eggs in nicely. So we're just going to start by gluing this bit down here, and then remember when you do that, you've also got a flap here that still needs to be secured down well. So once you've applied the glue stick, you can just kind of push them down just to secure them. Just push it down nicely. If you want to add some masking tape on, you can. I think I'm actually okay. I don't think I need to add any on, but if you do for extra security, then you can do so. Thank you. for joining, and please, yeah, message in the comments if you have any questions, any ideas, or you just want to tell me what materials you're using. Oh, that's brilliant. You're back at Unique Kids on Tuesday of next week. That's great. How's college going, Stephanie? We've just gone back to uni this week, so yeah, we've got a few meetings planned, and then we're in the studio doing like practical things from Monday. So we've got a 3-week rotation, so we've been allocated 3 weeks that we can be in up until summer. So one of them is next week, so that's great, and we've got the full day to be in the studio working, which again is handy. But yeah, so we've got our pouch here, so now you can see in there that can hold our eggs. So now what we're wanting to do is decorate. So again, you want in some white card for the ears. Oh, you went back last week. That's great. That's brilliant. So wanting some white ears. What you can do is you could just use the flaps on here. So rather than cutting into a new sheet, think about recycling and reusing materials. Any extra bits that you've got, you can create and use and make them into different things. So we're going to take advantage that the bottom of it is nice and flat. So we're just going to kind of go round like that. So it's almost like an oval kind of shape, and then it kind of comes in at the bottom. So something like this. And then we're going to do my technique, my cutting technique like I did last week, where we place the template on. If we wanted something identical, place it on the white surface, or the surface that we're wanting to cut the shape out of. And then use the scissors and just trim very gently around the edge of that template. There we are. And then this is a really good way to get a duplicate of something that you're making. So now we've got 2 ears. So then they will stick on the inside of the pouch, so it will look something like that. And then for the inside of the ears, we're wanting some pink. So I've got different kind of tones here. Is this a good activity to try at Unique? Yeah, I do think that on Fridays Forever Unique are doing these activities. I do think. I know Faye, you know, Amanda and Faye, I know Faye goes to Forever Unique as well. So yeah, I do think they are doing this activity there as well, which is great. And I'm getting lots of photographs sent in from different crafts. So again, really good to be back doing stuff. So we're going to be taking our pink material. So for me, I've got different shades of pink here. Now I'll show you. I've got things like this, but then I've got slightly lighter colours. So again, the colour of the ears is up to you. And I've got some kind of brightly coloured tissue paper. Now, I am actually going to start by using the pastel colour. And then maybe if we make more of these, we can start using a different shade. So you're wanting to cut something a little bit smaller that will go inside the pink ear that we've done. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, if you want, what you can do, Stephanie, is with these videos, you can watch them back after. So as soon as it's finished, it'll either get posted onto YouTube or I'll share the video, and then you can just access it that way, which is great. So what we're doing is we've got our pink in the ear, so it'll look something like that. So again, I'm going to put my cutout over the material, and then I'm just going to cut around again, just so I've got another identical ear. So I've got a new shape. So again, something like that. I've just noticed that you've sent me a photograph, Stephanie, but I'll have a look after, if that's okay. So you're just going to get some glue and just roll it over there, and then just stick it into the ear. And then the same on the other one, and then just stick it in. So again, the idea is the pink will set inside the white template. So if I just hold this up, then you've got your bunny rabbit ears there. And we're gonna then stick it kind of inside the pouch, so it'll look something like that. So it's almost like a little carry pouch. So you're wanting, because we're going to be sticking it on the inside of the pouch, so you don't see the detail, you're wanting to glue a little bit on the side with the pink. So remember, the side with the pink is what you're wanting to glue, if that is okay. And then maybe have it on a little bit of an angle so it's not going straight up. Think about, you know, bunnies when they have the ears like that. So you're wanting them kind of on an angle, on a slight angle, but not too much. So just again, think about that. And then again, try and get the height right on the other side. And then, as you can see, this is my pouch so far. It opens inside there. And then on the back, you can see where I've done those nice folds and secured it with glue. Now remember, you can use sellotape or masking tape just to secure the material if you prefer. And I am doing mainly a collage kind of theme today, where I'm using colour paper and tissue paper. Alternatively, you can use pens, you can use paints, you can use whatever materials you prefer. So again, don't feel like you have to use the exact materials as me. These are really just little guidelines and little ideas that you can use. Oh, brilliant. Have you had your hair cut this week then, Stephanie? I know I'm having mine on the 28th of April, so yeah, I'll have a look after. Thank you very much. So now we're wanting the rabbit's black eyes. So I'm just going to get some scrap black material that I found this morning in my, I would say studio, but really it's just my bedroom full of art materials, but life of an artist. So we're just going to get some scrap black material or some googly eyes, so whatever you prefer, and then just cut some circles. So it's a little bit fiddly, but remember, if your pouch is the same size as mine, because obviously you can trim it a bit more off and you can fold in a bit more, so again you can really determine how big you want it. If you want a smaller one, all you have to do is fold these bits in a bit more and then maybe trim a bit off the top, just so you've got that square look of it. Yes, I will do. Thank you, Stephanie. I will have a look after the workshop. That's great. So just make sure those eyes are the right proportion for the pouch. And I'm going to do the same as I did before, where I'm placing the black circle onto more of the black material, and I'm just going to trim gently around. So this is quite fiddly with it being small, but I'm just going to trim gently around here. Oh, see you later. Are you going now? Well, thank you for stopping by, Stephanie. Right, so you've got two of these eyes here, and then again roll on the top of the glue, and then place kind of an inch below the ears, I would say. And then again, you want to make sure that they're the right distance apart, so something like this. So already it's starting to look more rabbit-like. And then you can use anything. You can use a pom-pom or something for the ears. Just having a look on my notes. You can use a pom-pom or something for the ears, or you could use colour paper. For me, I'm going to use some of this bright pink tissue paper because I do quite like it. So I'm just going to get a small piece and I'm just going to kind of mould it. So you're wanting it a little bit bigger than the eyes because it's like the main bit. So if I just hold this up, it's going to be something like that. And then you can roll this onto the glue. So already I'm using a different tone or different shade of the pink and another material. So ultimately we're using more materials. Now, throughout these workshops, I've always been encouraging us to think about recycling and making things out of packaging and using different materials, different colours, different techniques. So I really hope that it's getting you all to think about new ways of working. So if I just show you what I've done so far. So far we've got the eyes, the ears, the nose and the body. And then we're just going to do kind of like the mouth kind of area. If you want to add whiskers on, you can do, like we did last week with these bunny cones. But again, that is totally up to you. And if you want to decorate them using sequins or whatever, then or glitter, then you're obviously free to do that as well. So I'll show you what I mean by the mouth. So something like this. Now if I make another one, I actually might add some whiskers or something on. I could add some on now actually. I'm just going to get some white card. And I'm just going to trim about 1.5 inches. And I think we're wanting 2 whiskers on each side. So I'm just going to get the glue and then just roll it gently over, and then we're just going to stick it on. So obviously it's white on white, but as soon as you get closer you can make out that they are whiskers, which is great. So I'm just going to place 2, you know, one facing upwards and one facing downwards. That is the first stage. There we are. So if I just show you this, something like this. Now obviously everyone's a lot different, which is fine, but something like that. And if I get closer, you can kind of see the whiskers kind of coming out. Again, if you want, you could do them in grey, you could do them in black. That is really up to you. And then that's the little pouch area there, so you can put your Easter eggs or mini eggs or whatever in. So again, a really nice idea, so you can go around Easter egg hunting and kind of collecting them. So again, a really nice simple craft idea for that. Now what we're going to do is we'll make another one, and then we're going to start with our second craft, which is the pop-up chick card. So I'm just going to get some of this white card again and then just fold it in half. So the first stage is just folding that in half. This time I might make it a little bit smaller. So again, we've got 2 different sizes. So for that, we need to trim off more of the white at the top. So I'm going to trim about half. So we're just going to do half and just trim it like that, very gently. So something like this. And then you want it to fold in a little bit of this, yeah. So again, I've folded in about this much here, if you can see. And then we'll do the same, or roughly the same on the other side. With using card as well, maybe you could just add some extra pressure by using some scissors as well. That is helpful. There we are. And then you can see that we've got a smaller square. And now we're going to do the same again, where we're then securing the flaps. And then we've got our pouch ready to decorate and create on. So the first stage is just to add the glue, push it down nicely on the surface, and then make sure that you secure the flap inside as well, because remember there's two layers with us folding the material over. There's 2 layers to glue down, so just bear that in mind. And then I'm going to add some more glue there, and then if I hold this up, then we've got our pouch, and then we've also got our little inside area there, and that's the bottom of it. So if I just do this, that is the bottom of it, so it's kind of nicely secure. And if you want, like I said before, you can use masking tape or sellotape or anything else to secure it. So you could use you know, glue it and then tape or something. That is entirely up to you. And then we're going to start with the ears. So again, I'm just going to get my scrap material. And this time I'm going to think, because I've got a smaller surface to work on in comparison to the other one, I don't need larger ears. I don't need ears the same size. So maybe this will be okay. Let's just have a look. It's always good to cut one and then just to work it out. Yes, already I can see that that is quite a good size for this surface that we're working on. And then I'm going to do the same again, where I'm just cutting around the ear. There we are. So now we have two. And then we're going to cover the inside in a pink. So last time I used this pastel kind of pink. So this time I've got some kind of sugar paper. So it's like a coral kind of pink that we're going to be using. And remember, we're wanting a small bit for the inside. Yeah, so something along the lines of that size. So it's quite small. And then we're going to place it on our paper and then just cut around gently. And then I'm just going to get my glue stick and then just place the pink gently inside the ears. And I'm just going to hold this up. So we've got something like this. And then the same again, where we're working on obviously the clean side, because on the other side you can see the flaps on the clean side. And then we're just going to add a little bit of glue at the bottom on the side where we've got the pink. And then we can stick the ear on an angle from the inside of the pouch. So we want it fairly close to the edge. Do the same again. It's quite noisy. Yes, do the same again. And then I'll just hold it up in a minute. Yeah, so something like that. Just make sure they're roughly on the same angle. And the good thing with Pritt Stick is you can actually keep adjusting it even when it's stuck down. So that's quite good. And then we're wanting to do our eyes. You can either use googly eyes or you can use some black hard. I am going to use some black hard because I do quite like the collage effects of it. And because this is a smaller bunny this time, a smaller bunny holder, we're going to be using some slightly smaller circles. Now, because the circle I've just cut is quite small, I am actually going to cut the second one freehand. Just because when you start to cut around something quite small, it does get very, very fiddly. Right, I'm just going to cut that again. I've cut it too small. Right, so I'm just going to do that again. When you cut in circles, it's always a good idea to kind of gently feed the material through your fingers. Yeah, that's about the right size. And then we're just gonna roll it along the glue. And then remember, you want in there about 1 inch from the ears, and then about 1 inch or so apart. So something like this. And then for the nose, you can use whatever material you want. This time I might use some of this pastel paper that we used for the inside of the ears on the first one. So again, I'm just going to cut This time more of an oval. That's quite small actually. More of an oval shape we're kind of wanting. Yeah, so something like that. And then kind of put that central to the eyes. And then we're going to get our black Sharpie again, or black marker pen, whatever, and just draw the mouth on, so something like that. So already we've got our little pouch, and then we've got our design on the front, and then now we're just wanting the whiskers. So we're wanting 2 on each side. This time we can make them a little bit shorter. So we're wanting 4 altogether. Just trim it very carefully. Doesn't have to be exactly right, so just bear that in mind. So I've got 2 of these white card strands, if you like, and I'm just gonna put 1 on the right hand side, and we're just gonna face them both the opposite direction. So we've got 1 facing up and then 1 facing down, so something quite easy. So already you can see now that our bunny is very much coming to life, which is great. Now feel free to add more decoration to this. You know, you can add some glitter glue, you can add some sequins, so really that is up to you how you want to do it. There we are. So I will hold this up and I'll show you what I've done before we move on to our next craft. I've got 2 of these bunny rabbit holders now, both using kind of cut paper. We've got obviously 1 bigger, 1 smaller. We've got a tissue paper nose, some different shades and tones of pink, and then you can see clearly that they both open up to be a little pouch. So again, a really nice craft, and feel free to use whatever materials you want. You know, you don't have to use the collage kind of technique that I've gone with. You know, the cut and paste. You can also use, you know, colour pens, and more decoration if you want. I've actually got here with me things like pom-poms, ribbon, glitter glue, sequins, pipe cleaners, just for a few ideas for you all. So feel free to go wild with those if you want. Now we're going to move on to our second craft, which is the pop-up chick card. So this should be fun. We're going to get, first of all, some white card, I would say. Yeah, some white card. Now it's up to you which way you fold it, but I'm just going to fold it in half, landscape as usual. Because if you do that, it actually gives you more space to work on rather than the other way. And also it's more of a card kind of size rather than folding it the other way as well. But it's up to you. So first of all, we've just folded it in half and it'll open something like that. So the card will ideally stand up like this, and then you can see a little picture inside. So rather than writing inside, you'll be able to write on the outside, and then as you open it up, there's your design. Now we're going to start first of all by adding the sky, so the blue for the sky and the green for the grass. So we're just going to start by doing that first. Now I have some tissue paper and some colour paper, and I've again got some different shades of blue, so whatever you decide is fine, but I'm just going to use this kind of sugar kind of paper. It's quite a thin material. It's not as thick as card, but it's not as thin as paper, so it's like sugar paper, I think. And I've also got some slightly different shades of blue as well. So you can either do a tissue paper sky, or you can keep it nice and plain. So again, that is up to you. Right, so I'm just going to start by working out exactly where I want the sky to go. Right, so I think we want it to cover about 2/3 of the page. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just apply some glue to the white card. So just on one side for now, because obviously we've got the fold in it. So just on one side, we're just going to roughly apply some glue. And then you're going to get the blue material and line it up with the inside of the card. There we are. So something like this. And then you can flip it over in a minute, flip it over, and then just trim the edges off. So this is a really quick way of covering the material that you're working on. Just going to use some scissors and trim around the edge. So just separating that blue card from the white card. So you should now have this bit of the card covered. So that is going to be part of the sky. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. So this time we've got a bit of help because we know exactly where we're wanting our material to go. So just again draw a line of glue roughly across the page. And then get some blue material. Now I haven't got enough on that sheet, so I'm just going to get a new sheet of blue material. And then again, line it up gently with the inside of the card, so something like that. And then again, flip it over and then cut around, separating the white card from the blue card that we've just stuck on. Now this is quite an easy way to cover the page really quickly as well. But maybe think about other materials you can use, maybe tissue paper, or maybe you could use torn coloured paper. So rather than just covering it as like one block blue, you could think about tearing and other techniques. So maybe cutting out some shapes, or maybe a bit of mixed media where you're using collage and then you're painting over, or maybe you're using pastels. So again, I've only done those two halves separately because we've already got a nice fold in the card. We want it to be easy to fold, so again, I'm just not adding too many layers onto that centre where the card folds into. And then we're going to do the same again for the bottom, but this time we've got the grass. So I'm wanting you to get a nice green that you want to work with. You know, I've got quite a few here. I've got some foam that I could use, got some tissue paper. I quite fancy using a nice spongy foam actually, so I think I'm going to do that. But you can also use things like tissue paper, which are super easy to just tear off. We've got some card, we've got some light green here. So again, a lot of different shades of material. But I've opted this time to go with the foam, so I think I quite like the colour of the green as well as the sponginess. It's quite good. I always like materials that have a bit of texture to them as well, so it's quite good to use. So again, we're doing the same again where we're filling just that little rectangle at the bottom with glue, and then we're just going to place the foam gently on, so lining it up with the edge where the card folds and lining it up with the bottom of the blue that we've used for the sky. So again, something like this. Flip the card over. Make sure you don't have any glue on the back of it. And then get the scissors and just trim that foam and separate the green from the white. So nice and easy. I quite like the way foam cuts as well. It's I don't know, it's almost like cutting grass in your garden. So again, just make sure the card folds up nicely. And it should do if you make sure that you get the colours positioned kind of right, so just so it's not covering the centre of it. We want them to join, but we don't want the centre of the actual card laid up too much, because we are obviously wanting a nice even and crisp fold on that. Now we're doing the same again, just to cover the other rectangle, and then we're going to get our foam and then just place it, lining up with the green on the side and the blue from the top, and then using scissors again just to trim and separate the materials. There we are. So again, so far we've got something like this, and it will stand up like that. Just make sure it folds nicely. Next we can work on the clouds. So we're just wanting some clouds in the sky. So I would say maybe just one on each side, using either white card or some white paper. I actually do have a little bit of white card left over, so I'm going to try and use this. And try not to make them too big. So something like this. And then again, you can use my technique where we're then placing the template that we've cut onto some plain white card. And then we're just going to duplicate and just trim gently around our design. The good thing about this is you then get two pieces that are identical, and it looks quite good. But try and make these clouds quite fluffy as well, so just something like that. And then you can place one on one side and one on the other. So just get the glue stick and roll it over. And you're probably thinking now, what about the chick? When are you going to put the chick on? Well, we are going to do that shortly. We're just going to add some Easter eggs on, and then we're going to start working on that. And that is why we're placing the clouds either side, just so we've got that centre area where we can really decorate and make our standing showpiece, which is obviously the chick that will, I say pop up, but it'll look 3D, put it that way. So again, just stick the clouds on gently. Just make sure that you haven't got too much glue on the surface of it. So far your card should look something like this. Now I think we will just work on the chick now actually. So what you want in is a circle straight away for the head. So I've got a little bit of a colour selection here. So I've got quite a few different colours. I'm going to use this actually for the head. It's just really like a mustard kind of canary yellow paper, nice and thin. And I am just going to cut a circle. So here I'm doing it freehand. If you do have anything in your house that you can use that will get you a circle shape, then by all means go and get that. So this is my circle, very rough outline. So something like this that will just go in the centre of the design. Now it doesn't matter if the head is obviously bigger than the clouds. That is really the idea of it. So you've got something like that. And then I am going to now work on the body. So I'm going to use a little bit of a different colour. And we're wanting like an oval kind of shape. So maybe like a circle that is a little bit bigger than the head. So what I'm just going to do is just start by just trimming out quite a large circle here, and then we can obviously trim it down to size depending on the appearance of it. I mean, I always quite like to trim something big and then you can cut it down if you want. But for me, that is roughly the right size. So something like this that we'll just place underneath the head. And then we're wanting some wings or flaps or whatever they are. So something like this. And then you can place that on the yellow material and then cut around again just to make an identical one. I'm just going to use some scissors just to gently trim around the outline that we've got. There we are. So what we're going to do is just put the card to the side and then get the body of our chick and get the glue stick and then add a little bit of glue to the top of the wing and then just tuck it under, and then that will look like a flap of some sort for the bird. Now I'm just going to do the same on the other side where I'm applying some glue and then just applying that yellow template nicely to the back of the bird. So something like this. There we are. And then the idea is that will be the head of it. So to start with, we're going to add some glue and add the head onto the card. So you want it kind of in the middle of the clouds and you want it to be roughly in the centre of the card. I'm just going to put this white card to the side just so I've got a bit more space. Just push down on the circle and then you've got the circle there, but obviously that doesn't fold properly, so we're just going to make it fold by folding the top of the card and just pushing down. So then you can see that we've now got a nice fold with that yellow circle. Just make sure it's stuck down properly as well. That's always best. And then we're going to get the other side, so we're going to take the side where we stuck the wings on, because obviously we don't want all that detail coming out, and then we're just going to add some glue on the body of it. So now you're probably thinking, oh, what about where's the 3D part of it? Well, the pop-up idea is where the card opens and then obviously the bird is visible, but also we're going to add some tissue paper onto our chick, just so it looks a little bit 3D as well. So I'm just sticking the body down gently onto the card and then doing the same again with this, where I'm then going to fold it in half just so the chick has a 3D body. So we've got something like that. So plenty of folding with this activity. So already you can see the nice colours that are coming through. And now we're wanting some orange feet. And I'm just going to add a bit more glue to that. Yeah, now I wanted some orange feet. So I'm going to take some orange card or orange tissue paper, whatever you fancy. Probably this kind of colour. And then just cut some feet using it. So something like that. So they're going to look like little kind of flippers or something. And then we're going to place the template again onto some yellow material. Going to cut around it gently. And then we're going to take our glue stick and then just roll it gently over the orange and then just stick them down. So you want to stick them where it looks like they're just joining the body of the chick. So if I just hold it up, something like this. So it just looks like the body and the head and the body and the feet have kind of just joined, and you know, they don't overlap, it's not clear, and it looks nice and clean. And then we can start with the face by just adding some black card or some googly eyes. So we're just putting again 2 circles like we did for our first craft. If you want as well, you can actually just add a bit more glue on just to secure the details of the card nice and well. And then I'm just going to take some black card and then again just add some small circles. Now for this I'm just going to put it freehand just because it is quite a small detail that we're cutting out. Yes, that's about right. And then we've got the orange for the nose, so I'm just going to use the same material that I used for the feet, and I'm just going to cut out kind of like an oval shaped little face upwards, so yeah, something like that. Then just get my glue stick and just roll the black across and then just place it either side, about 1 centimetre on each side away from where the card folds. So that just kind of gives you an idea already about the positioning of it. And then just make sure that that folds nicely in. So maybe just press down a little bit on it just to make sure that the nose stays on. And if not, then you can always just place it slightly more to one side if you want. Yeah, and just keep folding it just to make the fold nice and clear. And then I've got something like this. And then what you can start doing is then layering the body of the chick up if you want. I'm just going to make sure that that detail is nice and clear and nice and on it. So I'm just going to get now some yellow tissue paper. So let's have a look what I can use. I've either got some kind of pastel yellow tissue paper, or I can use some of this. I might actually go for this kind of colour just because I quite like it. I'm just going to start by scrunching a little bit of tissue paper off. So very similar to what we did last week and the week before. So just scrunching a few small balls of tissue paper like that. So again, making them all fairly different sizes. That should be enough to be getting on with. And then what we're wanting to do is just make sure that that's stuck on nicely. Just get our glue stick and then roll the tissue paper. along the surface of the Pritt stick. And then we need to now think about what else we can add on the grass. Now, what I was thinking is things like Easter eggs or flowers. So maybe an Easter egg on one side and a flower on the other. That is what I was thinking of. So now just evenly space out that Pritt stick. That tissue paper, sorry. Right, so if I just hold this one up, then you can see what I've done. So something like this, and then it'll fold, and then obviously with the tissue paper it's a little bit more layered, and with the foam it's a little bit more layered. So just fold it nicely, and then as it opens up you can see the design on there. So obviously the grass looks a little bit bare, sorry. So what we can do is add some Easter eggs. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some white Easter eggs, and then we can use some coloured pens actually and do a pattern. Because we haven't used coloured pens in a while, so I think we're going to do that. So you just want in like an oval kind of Easter egg shape. Yeah, so something like that you can put here. And then on the other side we can do a flower. So we're just going to get our glue stick again and then stick down the white card, which is our Easter egg, on like an angle. So just stick it on the green on for the grass on like an angle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our pen pot. So I've got some different colours in here, and I'm going to start with like a nice red, yellow, a blue, like a pinky purple, and a green, I think. So already I've got some nice colours. Some nice colours coming out of there. So now you can either do some stripes or some zigzags. For me, I'm just going to do some stripes. So I'm just going to colour the top in red. And then I'm just going to add a stripe of yellow. So the colours that I'm using are quite bold, quite bright, and seem to work well. So now I've got a nice sky blue. And then I've got a green here, and then I've also got a pink that I'll be using. Again, with it being white card, try and cover as much white space as you can. Now, obviously, when you colour in like this, you know, it's going to be a few streaks, but try and cover as much of that white space as you possibly can. And then the final colour is a nice pink. Looks like a pinky kind of purple. There we are. So already we're adding another media onto it, and we've got a rainbowy strig at the bottom. And then on the other side, we're just going to simply add a flower, so a nice flower. So I'm going to use some of this pastel green card and just cut a line. And then I'm going to go for some bright yellow, I think some bright yellow card. And we're going to cut, I think, a flower, a centre of the flower actually, from it.